Hi, families. Tonight we're going to continue our reading, Swiss Family Robinson. I hope you enjoyed last night's reading. Um, this evening we're going to talk about some of the supplies that they find on their ship, and we'll see if the family gets to land. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, give me some feedback below. Until we meet again. Okay, and we're going to talk about the characters that we already know. First, we have Father, Mr. Robinson. We have Mother, Elizabeth. We have Fritz, their son, Jack, Ernest, and Francis. All right, and right now the setting is on a shipwreck. We're hoping to change that after today, but right now they're on a shipwreck somewhere in the South Pacific Sea. All right, and the key vocabulary we have right now is crisis and thankful. Okay, all right. Tomorrow we're going to fill in some of the animals that we hear about in the story today. All right, let's begin. As we saw that the sea was calm at last, our spirits began to soar. "Let's put on our new life jackets and swim to shore," Fritz cried. "Maybe you can swim, Fritz," Jack answered cautiously, still shaken by the desertion of the crew. "But the rest of us can't. We'd soon be drowned. Wouldn't it be better to make a float of rafts and to get to land that way?" "Good thinking, Jack," I said, slapping him on the back. "Get busy, everyone. See what you can find." When Jack opened the doors of the captain's quarters, his two huge dogs, Turk and Flora, came leaping out. They licked Jack's face and hands hungrily. Jack jumped upon the back of one and, holding tightly to his ears, rode him up on deck. "Better be careful," I warned. "A hungry dog can be dangerous." "You'll be glad enough to have these dogs when we get to land," Jack replied. "They'll be great help hunting and shooting." "Look what I found!" called a voice from below. Rushing down, we saw 4 empty casks floating about in the water. We immediately fished them out and sawed them in half, making 8 tubs, each big enough to hold one person. I then salvaged several long planks from the hold and placed 8 tubs upon one, nailing each tub securely to the plank. Then the boys and I nailed 2 planks on each side of the tubs, creating a narrow but sturdy boat. After cutting other planks into paddles, we lowered the boat into the water. We were ready to set sail. "Wait!" cried my wife, scurrying up from another section of the hold. "You won't believe what I've discovered. A cow, a mule, 2 goats, 6 sheep, and a pig." She caught her breath and went on, "plus hens, roosters, pigeons, geese, and ducks." "What a wonderful find!" I exclaimed. "But we can only take the rooster and hens with us this trip." I then tucked them into the tub that already held the gunpowder, threw the pigeons up in the air, and put the other fowl into the water. The provisions filled another tub, leaving each member of the family to ride in his own individual tub. "I shall never muster enough courage to get into one of these," Elizabeth said nervously. "Come now, dear wife, I think your tub is a better sailing ship than the wreck we're leaving behind." I took her by the arm and gently guided her into the little round vessel. "We're off!" I yelled as I pushed away from our wrecked ship. Turk and Flora swam after us, along with all the cackling geese and ducks. The sea was calm, and the sky was bright blue with not a cloud in sight. Paddling along, we passed chests and casks from the shipwreck and managed to seize 2 of them and pull them aboard. As we approached land, we saw that the coastline was rocky and barren on one side and green and lush on the other. Suddenly, we hit a swift current which swept us towards the rocky coast and into a little opening between the rocks. That opening was the mouth of a small creek. Standing on the banks of the creek as it widened into a river, calmly watching our arrival, was a family of penguins, while pink flamingos soared over our heads, flapping their wings to wish us a warm welcome. "We're safe!" cried the boys, jumping out as we touched land. Elizabeth and I gathered our family around us and thanked God for the peaceful landing. Our hearts were full of joy. After unloading the boat, we pitched a tent near a brook and made a bed of dried grass. Elizabeth helped us to construct a crude kitchen, and she began preparations for dinner. While I was dragging the 2 casks up from the shore, the boys set out to explore the area. Jack found a giant lobster, and Ernest discovered an oyster bed. Fritz returned from the other side of the creek, brought back an angouie, a native pig. He told of beautiful woods and fields with soft green grass for our animals to eat. "Tomorrow we'll return to the wreck and bring all the animals here," I assured him. "Did you see any trace of the crew?" But neither Fritz nor the others had seen even a glimpse of the sailors. After dinner, as the sun sank in the west, we retired to our tent. We had been through a frightful ordeal, but we were grateful to be alive and to be together. And so it was that my family, shipwrecked at sea, spent their first night on a desert island somewhere in the South Pacific. Hi, friends. Welcome back. Wasn't that an exciting chapter of Swiss Family Robinson? I am so excited that the family made it off of that shipwreck. And they made it off with lots of different things, including a chicken and a rooster. There was cows, mules, ducks, geese, and then 2 dogs. And I'm wondering if all those animals are going to make it onto the island. We'll have to wait until tomorrow to find that out. I'm very excited to find out what happens next. And I'm wondering maybe even your families could help look up some of those animals that we read about today, and maybe play what kind of sounds they make. Or maybe you already know and you can make those sounds for mom and dad, or whoever you're watching this video with. That would be exciting. And for tonight, our little activity that's going to go along with our reading, it's a OT activity, and I've just found in my house some little cups here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. All right. And what we're going to do, I have clothespins. I found them left over from something. They were in my junk drawer. But we're going to clip our 2 cups together, just like the Swiss Family Robinson tied their boat together. Okay, so we have 2. And then we're going to clip another 2. Really use that pincher motion, ladies and gentlemen. If you can do it, use that pincher motion to put them together. Okay, and if you can't, families, if you don't have clothespins, maybe you have chip clips. And if you don't have chip clips, maybe you have a ruler and some masking tape, and you can tape it together that way with your student. However you want to do it, there's my boat. I would love for you guys to make a video of your boat and maybe have it floating in the water, or just pictures of your boat. And you can imagine all the animals sitting in the little, my boat just fell apart. That's all right. You can imagine the animals and the family floating in your boat, or maybe you can put things in your boat and see how well they float. Anything that you'd like to do, okay? Remember to take a video and post it on Flipgrid so I can see your response. I'll make that topic tonight, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Good night.